when one looks at a legal framework, there's the whole balance between accountability and responsibility. Accountability in an organization moves up, responsibility moves down. The people at the top are accountable for what everybody does, but everybody in the organization is responsible to do what they need to do. When one looks at stakeholders, an important concept is a company accountable to its stakeholders or not? And that's a big question in the current environment. If one looks at it, the word account is an important one. What directors are legally obliged to do is to take into account the impact of their decisions on stakeholders. Directors' accountability is to act in the best interest of the company while taking into account the competing interests of stakeholders. So there's no direct accountability to stakeholders except to keep them in the loop. And that's probably the biggest mistake of organizations, is not to properly communicate what and why they do certain things. So as a decision is made behind the closed doors of the boardroom, no one comes out and says, well, actually, this is how we took you into account. And so stakeholder engagement, the management of stakeholders, understanding when we make a decision, we're accountable to the extent of letting people know how we've taken them into account. And so that's what directors need to be more involved in. Because often that becomes a PR exercise or becomes a marketing exercise. And that's wrong. Stakeholder engagement has to happen at the highest level in the organization in the current environment.